My name is Mani Shankar. I'm a part of McKinsey and Company, working as a senior business analyst at the Gurgaon office. I have more than 5 years of industry experience, and by academics, I am a mining engineer. And being a mining engineer, it's a very niche industry in India. So, getting into the field of management consulting and pursuing a business analyst role there was a really exciting experience, and I would like to share that experience with you guys and help each and every one of us pursue their dreams and try my best to answer the questions. So really excited to be here, and let me get started and share my screen. I have a short presentation which we can go in the beginning, and then we can start the Q&A round. Um, I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, sir, it's perfectly visible.
Thank you, Nitish. So speaking about the agenda, so we would like to cover 5 topics today. So the first topic is understanding what is a business analyst, and the second would be to know what are the skill set you need to be industry ready in this role. Third, we would look into the different, roles where a business analyst can work, and what are the key responsibilities in the industry we need to adhere to. The fourth would be some of the tips and tricks which I found out during my experience, and I would like to share with you. And in the end, we can have a Q&A session where I can go and try to answer all your questions which you might have regarding this topic. So what is a business analyst? So if you look at theoretically, so business analyst is nothing but as someone who acts as a bridge between different stakeholders. So the stakeholders could be internal stakeholders or an external stakeholders. And business analyst plays a very unique role in bridging the business requirement of the company or organization and managing the expectation and projects of the different stakeholders. So and business analyst works with the multiple names. So in some companies they call it business analyst, some companies they call strategic analyst, some companies they call product analyst, and so on. So there are different names, but the work they do is pretty similar. So there would be multiple stakeholders in an organization. So if I take an example of a company such as Tata Steel, so there would be a group of people in the CXO level. There would be some, subject matter experts or technical heads. There would be some, project managers and developers. So the role of a business analyst would be to bridge between all those people and understand the business requirement and drive different initiatives and projects. So the business analyst help the CXO or the C-suite in taking the right strategic decisions. He or she takes help of the subject matter expert in developing those decisions. It and then he or she looks and works with the project manager and the developers or the solutions team in driving and implementing those strategic solution. So business analyst has evolved as a very unique role in the industry, and nowadays all the companies, be startups or manufacturing, software development, management consulting, each and every sector looks for people with the skill of business analyst into their organization, and they play a very unique role in driving the performance and strategy of those organizations. Looking into the skill set, so there are multiple skill set which we need as a business analyst. So let us go one by one. So the first skill set you need is a functional or industry knowledge. So whichever industry or organization you want to work with, you need to acquire the basic knowledge about that domain or functional sector. So when I say domain, it could be mining, it could be chemicals, petroleum. When I say functional, it could be IT, human resources, finance, and so on. So whichever domain or industry you want to pursue and you want to become a business analyst, you need to have the necessary or basic knowledge about that domain. The second skill which is important is, problem solving skills. When we say problem solving, it could mean different things, and the definition of problem solving is different for different industries. So if you look at a manufacturing industry, there are multiple ways of problem solving. Like there are, we at McKinsey follow a 7-step problem solving approaches, and there are different ways of breaking down the problem into different components and try to get the solution of it. And based on the industry, the problem solving approach varies. So if you look at software development or I would say advanced analytics and machine learning industries, the way they do problem solving is hypothetical testing. Whereas when we look at a manufacturing company, they have a basic framework of 7-step problem solving. So you need to learn and develop those problem solving skills and approaches, which will help you work in a particular industry and domain. The third skill, which is very important, is the data analytics. So the main role of a business analyst is to analyze and understand the data. And nowadays, as we know, with the evolution of social media and Internet of Things and advanced analytics, machine learning, there is a lot and lot chunks of data available to us. And as a business analyst, you need to develop the skill set uh, of different tools and softwares which will help you do the data analytics of those data set. And when we say softwares, the popular softwares in the market are Excel, like from starting from a basic Excel modeling to the advanced level of Excel, VBA modeling, R, SQL, Python, and also the visualization tools such as Tableau and Power BI. And if someone who is interested in pursuing the field of business analyst must try to develop this skill set as soon as possible, because these tools and skills would require in any industry or any segment, and the faster and sooner you gain the knowledge, the better for you, right? And what I would encourage everyone, while you're developing the knowledge of these toolkits, try to work on some real time projects, or try to do I would say a course around those softwares rather than learning it through YouTube or other platform. Because when you do a project on those tools, you really get a hands on experience about it. Rather, trying to learn on YouTube, you might feel you have learned it, but without any implementation or application of that tool, it doesn't allow you to gain much of an experience about it, right? And the last and one of the crucial skills which you need to develop is your soft skills, or communication and negotiation skills. So being a in the role of a business analyst, it is very important to manage the expectation and relation between the organization and stakeholders. And in order to develop relationship, you need a very strong communication and negotiation skills, because these skills will allow you to build a relation, interact with different stakeholders, understand their constraints and the way they work. And altogether, these four skills would allow you to become a very successful business analyst. And and this skill set is the basic and the preliminary skills which one must acquire when they enter into this domain, right? And uh, if I take my experience, so where I was a graduate of mining engineering from Indian School of Mines, Dhanbad, IIT Dhanbad. And I only had the functional or industry knowledge getting out of college. And when I entered McKinsey, I tried to attend different trainings, and there were some trainings offered by McKinsey which helped them to develop the skill set of problem solving, data analytics, and communication and negotiation. But nowadays, given the market is very competitive, there are lot many options available for people to acquire this skill set when they are in college or working at other organization, to be which will help you to switch the jobs or acquire good and higher growth within an organization. So if you want to be successful, start working on these skill set and start acquiring them. Looking into the roles, so like I said, business analyst is a very broad domain, and based on the industry or organization you're working, the designation of business analyst could be different. So for example, in a manufacturing organization, uh, business analysts are sometimes called as strategy analyst. When you look at some software or development, or I would say I would computer IT oriented organization, the business analyst is defined as a process or a business system analyst. Whereas when you look into the field of management consulting, the business analysts have been defined as business associate or business consultant. So the roles or the designation could be different based on the industry, but the core work which needs to be done by a business analyst remains the same, irrespective of the organization or industry you're working with. So like we discussed previously, there are five key responsibility of the business analyst. So the first responsibility is to gather and prepare the business requirement. So as I mentioned, business analysts act as a bridge between the different stakeholders. So first, we need to gather and get an understanding of the business requirement by interacting with the different stakeholders, right? The second step would be to plan and collect the data. So you need to create a plan of how you are going to implement a business requirement, or develop a strategy and collect the necessary data from the different stakeholders. The third step is to analyze and model the data set. So whatever data you collected, you need to analyze and try to gather or deliver insight out of those data. The fourth would be to take up change request. So when we say change request, you need to drive the change or do a change management, across the organization. So for example, you're working in a manufacturing company, and you have been given a project to identify opportunities to reduce the cost of the organization. So you interacted with the different stakeholders, collected the data, and you derived some of the insight by analyzing the data. And one of the insight was to increase the effective working time of people. So for example, it was previously there was a 12-hour shift, and you identified that people used to work for only 8 hours, and remaining 4 hours were some of the losses, right? So losses such as lunch, traveling from one place to another, spending in safety meetings, spending in some breaks or smoking breaks, etc., right, which we see in the industry. And what you identified is, out of those 8 hours, you can increase it to 9 hours. So if you reduce the lunch time or reduce some of the meetings which are not crucial, and optimize some of the time losses, you can save 1 hour. So what you need to do is you need to drive that change management, working together with the stakeholders, right? And finally, what you need to do is you need to see whether the implementation has been accepted or not. So whether is it sustainable, or you need to go back and need to identify there is something needs to be done, like there is some improvement which is required. So what you need to do is, it's a continuous process. which a business analyst needs to follow, from identifying different initiatives to implementation of those initiatives. So business analyst plays a crucial role in driving strategy and growth of a business organization. Cool. So now let me share some of the experience, or some of the pitfalls which you can avoid from my experience. So the first pitfall or first learning which I can share with you is uh, focusing only on developing technical skills. So one of the common mistake which we see is we always try to develop our technical skills and ignore our soft skills. So ignore the communication and negotiation skills. But let me tell you, if you want to be successful in this field, you need to have a equal balance between developing your technical skills and building your soft skills. So I would encourage everyone to spend some time, pursue courses, work within the groups, and try to develop your communication and negotiation and soft skills. Because irrespective, uh, whether you become a business analyst or any professional in the industry, your soft skills play a very, very crucial roles for your growth and enhancing yourself within those organizations. Because what we see within most of the people is they have a very strong knowledge between the within them, but they are unable to express that knowledge or implement that knowledge in a right way due to lack of communication and collaboration. So no, so I would encourage everyone to not only build their technical skills, but also try to work on the soft skills and develop those strong communication, negotiation, collaboration, all those skill set. The second learning which I could share is so I would say, uh, don't not acquiring expertise in a specific business analyst role. So what we see in the industry between my colleagues is they don't try to grow themselves, so they don't acquire the different skills which we discussed in the previous slide. So like I mentioned previously, some people are good at something but they lack the other skills. So we need to have a equal balance between the different skills, and we need to continuously elevate and learn different technologies which is growing among the industry in order to be relevant in the market. The third learning which I could share is we need to pay a lot of attention for collaboration. So the prime role of a business analyst is to collaborate between the stakeholders and work together for a common business need or a goal and implement it. So collaboration is a very strong, I would say, characteristics which you need to develop as a business analyst, and this is something which will help you excel and grow yourself faster, right? So I would say everyone needs to develop that attitude of collaborating and trying to learn from each other, so that you can work effectively within the any of the organization you join, and try to excel yourself. The fourth point is you need to have a right balance between interacting with the senior management and junior management. So like we saw that the role of a business analyst is very crucial, because he or she get a chance to interact with senior management and junior management and create the bridge, right? So you need to know what are the times you need to involve the senior management in driving those decisions, right? And this also links to the third point of collaboration. So uh, one, you need to be collaborative, and two, you need to develop a good understanding of stakeholder management. So when I say stakeholder management, you need to be transparent. So whatever work you do, you need to be transparent with your senior management in order to keep them aware of the uh, of the changes which you are driving and of the work you are doing, and try to involve them as much as possible so that you can drive the changes effectively and at a faster rate. Because as we all know that people listen to the senior management compared to their own folks, right? So you need to understand where and how you can involve the senior management. And the last point is, you need to keep yourself updated with the evolving technologies and business needs. So, for example, 5 years before when I joined the industry, there was not lot of buzz about machine learning, artificial intelligence, advanced analytics, especially in the Indian market. So it was still in the nascent or the beginning stage. Whereas in 2021, the growth of machine learning AI has been double, or I would say 4 times. So now everyone in the industry nowadays talks about these topics, and everyone nowadays who gets graduated or wants to pursue higher education tries to gain this skill set. So it is also very important for you guys to gain knowledge about these technologies and how these technologies are adapted in a business context. Because coming ahead in the next generation of industry and software and data driven evolution, these technologies are going to play a key role. And as a business analyst, people expect that you have a knowledge and understanding about these technologies. So I would say try to learn more about what are the trends going on in the market, and try to get yourself ready on those topics, which will help you enter the industries which you aim for, and try to gain the knowledge about those topics which can allow you to be an effective person in the company which you would be joining as a business analyst. Cool. So I guess I have talked a lot about the theoretical topics, but now let's jump into the practical things. And I would request everyone who are in this session to throw out your questions. It could be anything. I would be more than happy to answer your queries and anything which I have not covered in my presentation. So please, everyone, throw up your questions in the chat, please. So we have received a good question from Arun. The question is, as an entrepreneur, how to develop and use the business analytics skills. So it's a great question. So as India is in the era of entrepreneurship and emerging startups, and what people want to know is how to be relevant in the market and grow their startup. And let me tell you from my experience of management consulting that whichever person you have in your team should have these business analytics skills. And how you can develop it is, there are several courses available in the market which you can pursue. And the second thing what you could do is try to attend some of the sessions in YouTube and other platforms. So I can share some of the sessions with the team and they can share it with you. So there are some good sessions available in YouTube which can help you develop those business analytics skill set pretty quickly. And there are some certification courses available in different platform which you can also look out for and pursue them. It will really help you in developing your startup or your business idea and grow yourself. um, about the courses and colleges, so there are different colleges such as IIT Delhi, IIT Chennai, who are offering business analytics course and certification programs. And there are several university such as Michigan University, Duke University, who are offering business analytics course in Coursera. So up to you guys. So based on your preference, you can take those courses. So most of the courses are available online, and it is of 6 months to 1 year of duration.